Welcome back to the I Am More Than podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Wessel, a former Miss Arizona USA professional model and founder of More Than Inc. I was so overwhelmed by how much love we got on our last podcast episode, More Than an Engagement. From the feedback online, you guys are wanting to hear more about this new chapter in my life. And with all the changes coming up, I felt it was important to give you guys a look into what's happening behind social media. Since this podcast isn't about me, I was hesitant to continue sharing about the engagement and wedding planning and even our big move coming up. But I feel I owe it to this community to continue being transparent with both my personal and professional life. We've blocked off the last 3 episodes of season 2 to give you guys an inside look into this new chapter. From engagement to meeting with our ring designer to opening up all about our move into our new house, I'm going to get you guys caught up to speed. Then we'll be kicking off season 3 with new incredible guests. I'm so grateful for the continuous support for both myself and for this company, and I'm so excited to continue growing with you all. So without further ado, let's dive in. What's up, guys? I'm so excited to be on here doing a solo episode because it's been so long since I've done one, and I feel like I have so much to fill you in on. I love that I can just come on here and talk to you guys. This community is filled with inspiring, encouraging, and supportive women, and it's always been really important to me to be transparent, raw, and real with you guys, both about what's going on in my personal life and what's going on with the company as we continue to grow. More Than's going to be 1 at the end of March, which is insane to me. Thinking back on where I was a year ago from now and where I am now, it's crazy. The amount of growth there is unreal. And I know it's been a crazy year for all of us. There's been a lot of challenges. There's also been a lot of blessings. And so it's important to me that I just get to let you guys in on what's going on in both my life and the life of the company. The last time I did a solo episode was to update you guys from my move from New York to Arizona. That was back in June. So a lot has happened in the last 11 months or so. And I want to let you guys in on because I'm excited about it. For those of you who don't know, my boyfriend, now fiance, and I were living together in New York for 3 years. I was a full-time professional model. He works in sales, and we really just loved the life that we were building there. And when COVID hit, we decided to book a one-way ticket to Arizona to just kind of wait out COVID, thinking that it was going to go away quickly like we all did. And obviously that has not happened. And we made the tough decision in June to sell all of our stuff, pack up the little bit that we had, and come to Arizona to just kind of wait out the pandemic, spend time with family, spend time working on ourselves and trying to figure out how we were going to pivot. I was modeling full time. And so I was working a little bit on trying to build More Than throughout the process. And thank God I did that, because when modeling just went away, I really only had More Than to focus on. So the fact that we've grown as much as we have has been such a blessing. And I've still been doing a little bit of modeling virtually, but definitely nowhere near where we were. And so the impression that my fiance Brendan and I have been under throughout this whole pandemic is when things do start to clear up, we wanted to go back to New York, or we were bouncing around the idea of going to LA. 2 places that I could really focus on, both modeling and this company. And it's pretty crazy just to see how God works. I know that we aren't all faith-based people, and that is completely fine, but I want to let you in on just how my perspective of this whole chapter has really made me draw closer to my faith than ever, because a lot of the things that have happened, I don't believe could have happened unless there was some divine intervention. So for the last 11 months, we've just kind of been waiting things out. Bren was working really, really hard at work, and I was working really hard on building More Than. And our priorities started shifting. We had been dating for almost 6 years and really weren't having those conversations about settling down and getting married and trying to start a family. And given we're only 27 and 28, so we're still very young, that we figured we still had a good chunk of time to go live in LA or live in New York and just kind of enjoy our lives until thinking about that next chapter. But I think a lot just shifted in perspective throughout COVID and really realizing that the most important things in life are just being with your loved ones. And this time with my family has made me realize how much I missed being with my family. And so the idea of moving across country again, or even moving to LA, was becoming a little bit daunting all of a sudden. And we only knew that we were going to be able to make the move if Brendan's job switched him to another territory. His territory had been Manhattan, and it was a great territory. And so we were kind of open to the idea of possibly moving. A couple months ago, he was basically offered the Fort Lauderdale territory. And so we considered moving to Florida for a hot second before realizing like there's really nothing in Florida for us. We enjoy Miami for vacation, but other than that, I don't really have a huge desire to live there. So we really just narrowed our focuses onto LA. And that was really the goal. And then all of a sudden, another territory ended up opening up in Texas. And for those of you who don't know, my whole mom's side of the family lives in Texas. And I grew up with my brother and my sister, but we were really close to all my cousins. I have 5 cousins, and the majority of them now have kids, and they've all settled right outside of Austin. So I knew that someday when we were ready to get engaged and married and have kids, I knew that Texas is somewhere that I wanted to raise a family. I definitely didn't think that we would be going there any sooner than at least 5 years, but this territory opened up. Brent applied for the Austin job, and within 48 hours, he was offered the job. We felt like it was the right move for us at this chapter in our life. We wanted a little bit more security. We wanted to be able to save up money to eventually own something instead of continuing to rent it. We wanted to be close to family. And so knowing that we had the opportunity to be in Texas right now just really felt like all the cards were aligning. So he accepted, and luckily his company doesn't need him to be there until at least July. Everybody's work from home until July. We knew we had some flexibility on timing, and so we found all of this out right before the holidays. Then the last month, we've gotten engaged, we bought a car, and we went to Texas to start home searching. And I'm very excited to tell you guys that we bought a house. We're finally a homeowners. And we decided to actually build since we don't have to be there until later into the year. We found the perfect property for us, something that really fit with our lifestyle. We fell in love with Austin. And it's tough to kind of see what a city has to offer when you're in the middle of a pandemic, but being in the city gave us a little bit of a feeling like we had when we were in LA or in New York. And I needed that because I'm not ready to go to the suburbs by any means. So we found the most gorgeous development, and it won't be ready until like August, September. So in the meantime, we're going to continue just working here from Arizona as the home is being built. And once we can get a little bit more of a grip on COVID, whether vaccinations just help with people being able to travel and restrictions being lifted, my goal is to be able to go to both LA and New York to be able to model when those opportunities become available and have my home base be Texas. And my vision for More Than has always been for us to be able to have live events. The podcast is awesome, and I love that you guys are able to just listen to these conversations that we're having with other women, sometimes just with me, whether you're driving in your car or cleaning your house or hanging out with girlfriends, whatever it may be. But my vision for this brand is that we can eventually hold these live events so the women that are listening to this podcast can all meet up in person and meet these inspiring women that we've brought on to the show. So I'm hoping that eventually when COVID is all said and done, we'll be able to do that in Texas, Arizona, Los Angeles, and New York. I feel like everything is really just starting to come together. And I feel like a lot of the hard work and a lot of our praying and patience is starting to pay off. And it feels really, really exciting to be able to share this new chapter with you guys. If you asked me a year ago if I thought that I would be engaged, moving to Texas, and buying a house, I would have laughed. But that's what's happening. And so I'm just learning how to just kind of let go of expectations and embrace this change. And I'm really excited to be able to share it with you guys. It's really not going to affect the day-to-day operations of More Than all that much. Our team is working remote anyways, and so it ends up working out really well for us. And I'm just really excited to continue connecting with you guys, continue growing, continue learning. Part of me was really hesitant to share all of this with you guys because More Than is not about me. The conversations that I'm wanting to have with you guys don't fall always under the same categories of mental health, health and wellness, body image and confidence, and social issues. So I really want to hear from you guys. If you want me to continue talking about any of the things that are happening in my life on this platform, or if you'd prefer that I stick to Instagram for that, because I want to make sure that we are giving you guys quality content week after week. So I'd really, really love to hear your feedback. The exciting thing about where the More Than podcast is going is that we've had so many incredible women actually reach out to us to be featured. So season 3, we have over 15 incredible women from all walks of life, all different topics coming on here, excited to share their stories with you. So I want you to know that this company and this podcast is not turning into a relationship podcast. It's not turning into a home decor podcast, a wedding podcast, but I do love that I can share those chapters of my life with you guys, as well as continuing to bring these other incredible women to the forefront. I'm really proud of season 1 and season 2, but season 3 is about to be incredible. I'm really excited to continue growing with you guys, and I am so grateful for all the support that's been coming our way. Thanks for tuning in to this short and sweet episode. Next week, we're doing a special Valentine's Day edition with our ring designer. We'll be answering any questions you have about the process or how to begin designing your dream ring. You're not going to want to miss it. If you love this episode, please take a second to rate and review the podcast. It helps us so much. And remember, you're more than whatever label's been placed on you. See you next week.